This is reading lesson number 11. This video is for you if you struggle with reading. I am April McMurtry, a professional reading specialist, dyslexia specialist, and the developer of the Learn Reading program, and I'm going to teach you how to read in 100 videos. It is important that you start with lesson 1, and I have that video linked for you in the description below. We're going to move through in order, and so number 1 is the best place to start. Here's how these lessons will work. Lessons 1 through 10 are taken from my begin reading packet, and that is linked next to the number 1 in the description. Lessons 11 through 90 are taken from my Learn Reading program, and those lessons are next to the number 2 in the description. And lessons 91 through 100 are taken from my adult reading class, and that link is next to the number 3 below. But if you do not purchase the worksheets to follow along with me, that is perfectly fine. I would love to teach you right here for free, but you will need a piece of paper and a pencil to copy the words down. So push pause, grab a piece of paper and a pencil, and then come right back. I will have 2 videos for you each week. You are welcome to follow along with me here for free, or you can join me at any time in my adult reading class, especially if these words are a little hard for you. And there I will be able to help you a little more personally. And again, that link is next to the number 3 in the description below. If you want an online tutor, I have some recommendations for you in the description also. Okay, let's get started. Today we are going to be working on lesson 11 in the Learn Reading program. Your sight word is I. When I is all by itself like that, it's capitalized and it is just pronounced I. If you have these worksheets, go ahead and work on these sight words, and then I will meet you here on the new grapheme page. So our new grapheme is O, and O will make its long sound when. So this is kind of important. O will make its long sound in one of 3 times, really 4, but we're going to talk about 3 today. The first time it's going to say O is if the one of the next 2 letters is another vowel. We've already talked about the tap 2 rule. When you come to a vowel, tap the next 2 letters. If either one of them is another vowel, then the vowel that you are on will say its name or its long sound. So that's the first time O will say O, is if one of the next 2 letters is another vowel. The second time O will say O is if it is at the very end, if it's the last letter, like solo, polo. So if O is the last letter, that's the second time it will say O. The third time it will say O is if the very next letter is an L, such as solo, polo, roll, sold, told. So we're going to be going over words with those 3 rules where the O is going to say O for one of those 3 reasons. So if you have the worksheets, practice this page by saying the correct sound of each grapheme on this page, and then meet me down on the new phoneme page. If you have the worksheets, you know what to do on this page. Say the word, stretch it out, separate each of the sounds, and then identify the O, where the O is. So this word, if this picture is old. If you're not sure what they are, the words are down here for you below. So this first picture is old. You would separate the sounds O, L, D, and then you would mark where you hear the O sound. This is your phonemic awareness warm up. But if you don't have the worksheets and you're just joining me here for free, then I want you to count how many sounds are in the word sprinted. Sprinted. Take a second, stretch out that word, and count the sounds. Sprinted. So I believe there are 8 sounds. Let's figure it out. So we have S, P, R, I, N, T, E, D. So there's some sounds in there that are really hard to hear. The I is hard to hear, and the E right before the last letter is hard to hear. So listen one more time. S, P, R, I, N, T, E, D. Sprinted. Sprinted. So if that was difficult, that's okay. That's why we practice these. And the better you become at phonemic awareness, the better reader you will become as well. Okay, so here's our word for our page for the day. I did want to go over our words from last time. So let me pull that up. Okay, here are your words from last time. We did these 4 together, and then these 4 were your extra practice words or your homework words. So just so you know if you got these right, this first word right here is spinner, spinner. This word is master, master. This word is lantern, lantern. And this word is elders, elders. So that was from our extra practice from last week. This week we are here on lesson 11, and we're going to do these first 4 together, and then the last 4 you can do on your own. And I'm going to do this first one with you. So here we have this O that we know is going to say O because the next letter is an L. That was the third reason an O will say O. The first reason is if one of the next 2 letters is another vowel. The second reason if it's at the very end. And the third reason is if the next letter is an L. Here we have an L right after it, so we know this O is going to say O. So when you pencil read this word, you have O, old, old, old. And that word is in sentence 3 and 7 if you want to hop over to your sentences page if you have the packet and underline old in sentence 3 and 7. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet while you do these next 3. Okay, so we know the O says O because the next letter is an L. So we have B, O, L, D. Bold. Same word as this with a B on the front. So if this is old, then with the B we have bold. Here is old, here is B, old. Combined it's bold, bold. All right, let's try the next one. I'm putting, it's called when you see a line over a vowel, that's called a macron, and that's a symbol for the long vowel sound. And a long vowel sound is the name of that letter. So the long A says A, long E is E, I, O, and U. Those are the long vowel sounds. So when you are trying to identify its long sound or its name, you'll put that line over it, a macron. Okay, so the sounds were S, O, L, D. Sold, sold. Now these are rhyming words. Rhyming words means it ends with the same sounds. So here we have old, bold, sold. They all end with the same sounds. Old is in the end of all of these. Old, bold, sold. That's what rhyming means. All right, let's try this next one. All right, so we have this O saying O for 2 reasons. The first reason, because one of the next 2 letters is another vowel. There's a vowel right there, A, E, I, O, U, and Y if it's not the first letter. And the second reason is there's an L after it. So this O is going to say O for 2 reasons. So when we say the sounds, it's S, T, O, U, N. We know this E is going to say E because one of the next 2 letters is not another vowel. That tap 2 rule. So when you combine those sounds, we have stolen, stolen, stolen. All right, if you have the worksheets, go ahead and work on the next 4. If you don't, pause the video, copy these down on your paper for extra practice, and then I will go over these with you next time to make sure you got them right. And then also, if you have the worksheets, here are some vocabulary words for you that all follow the same rules. There's some fun words in there. Some word card pages that you can cut out and practice fluency. and some sentences that you can read the words in context. All right, my friends, you are doing great. I will see you in lesson 12.